Okay, so what did you want to do again?
Who needs promotion more?
Okay.
And what does it mean for us if we don't get it? Who stays? Who goes? How different could the squads look from now to next season, depending on what league we're in?
Right, it's ready to go when you are.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
As always, the Ramble is sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Thank you for John and the team for their continued support for the Ramble. And today's Ramble is also sponsored by V&B Auto Centres at Handsworth. They're still offering that fantastic deal of 50% off your next MOT when you let them know you're a Rambler. And thank you again to Aaron and the team for their support also. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I'm, of course, Jimmy, here at Ellen Road with my mate Conor from One Leeds. Welcome, Con.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me to your home stadium, this lovely championship ground. So today we're going to talk about...
Get ahead of yourself.
No, listen.
We've heard between.
I'm like Daniel Farker. I didn't mention where we would be playing, anything like that.
Yeah.
Dance around it. We just don't. Yeah, okay, be careful. Right, so today, this Ramble, we're going to be talking about what does promotion mean to both sides? Who needs it more? And what is the potential contrast in how our squads will look if we don't get it? Leeds, for context, are a second season parachute team. We'll go into the third season of parachute payments if you don't get promoted. We will go into the second season of our parachute payments if we don't get promoted. So I think from a Sheffield United perspective, we don't need to go up this season. We obviously want to. We want to go up for the finance and to continue building the club. I think we've got, I say, rich backers now. We don't know the context or how much they're willing or able to put into the club, but we've got the potential now to grow significantly as a club. We've got plans for the training ground, to move to Cat 1. There's all sorts of things in the pipeline for Sheffield United, but we have to continue being successful on the pitch to get the absolute maximum out of these things that we're looking at. We obviously want to keep our core players, Vinny Souza, Gus Eamon, Michael Cooper, and Nel Ahmedhodzic. We can only do that long term if we're in the Premier League. If we're not in the Premier League, I think we'll lose those players. Maybe we're on to Michael Cooper, got a long contract. I think we've got great assets then in Ollie Arblaster, Siddy Peck. We maybe, because of Ollie Arblaster's injury, we maybe hold on to him a little bit longer than we maybe would have done. We maybe get a season out of him in the Championship. So I think we're going to be okay if we don't go up. And this is sort of a bit of a reflective video to let people think, because Leeds fans at the moment are obviously in despair about how the last round of results went. But it's not going to be the end of the world if you're a Championship club the next season. And it's not for us either. So I know we put all our eggs in the promotion basket and we all get caught up in the emotion of it, and it's great, and we want to go up. We want to finish above you. We want to be champions of this league, and we want to continue progressing as a club. But it's not. Look how much we've enjoyed this season, and you're not at the moment, but for the previous 35 games, you were loving life in the Championship, and it can be a brilliant league. The danger is always, how far do you drop off every season that you're not promoted? Because you could soon become a Stoke, or become a Watford or a Norwich and West Brom. They're all there, aren't they? There's a litany of clubs. What does it mean for Leeds if you don't get promoted?
It's massive. It's massive. Absolutely massive. That's why they're all feeling it now. I think the big thing with not being promoted, and you get this if it was a succession of seasons at this level, your assets get stripped. And that keeps happening. You become a less attractive prospect for some of the better players who might now decide to pick a Leicester, a Southampton, and Ipswich over you. I think you've got to look at the teams that would come down as well, and what they're able to, and how their squads are set up. Like, I just look at Ipswich, it's primed for Championship promotion, and they're just going to add to that as well.
Yeah.
Southampton, I think they'll be okay. Leicester, there's a bit of a conversation there in terms of what's going to happen with them points, because obviously they should have been deducted the season they went up. So I don't know if that's going to come back and bite them. But they're strong teams, and we've been in the division with them again. Previously, they might have a little bit more financial might than, let's say, Burnley, Sheffield United. You had your squad turnover. Burnley, you know, had a little bit of a tumultuous period, didn't they, with Parker coming in, etc., and company leaving. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, but I think with Leeds, it's massive. I think second season, I think you need to get up. I think you need to get up. That third season becomes a little bit more arduous, becomes a little bit more difficult, and the teams that are coming down, I think, are going to be strong. So for us, it's massive that we get up. It's the second season, we'll be okay. We'll be, you know, we did very, very well to make the squad, I'd say, more well-rounded. I think that is a big task. But I think a third season...
Do you think you effectively get 3 rolls of the dice then, where the first season is your best chance of going up and bouncing straight away?
Yeah.
The second season, your odds are lessened, but you're still strong enough to give it a really good go. Third season is make or break. Is that what you
understand? Yeah. I think, but third season as well, it's your assets are going to get stripped. Like what we'd lose, Ramazani, Nonso. I think Peru would stick around. I think there's going to be so much interest in him.
Do you keep Melier?
Melier would be sticking around, surprisingly. Dan James might leave. So you've effectively got to replace these players, haven't you? You've got to replace them. You get a good capital in for them, but you have to replace them.
Tanaka leaves, doesn't it?
Tanaka leaves, 100%. Yeah. So you've got to replace these players. Well, we're lucky that we've got assets, but you've got to replace them, and you've got to replace them at a level of which Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton are also recruited.
Yeah,
and some of the better teams at this level as well. And it'll be the same with Sheffield United as well.
I'm not trying to stick Ben Arif. No, but because this could be taken out of context. But I know that Leeds United fans and yourself and, you know, maybe a lot of neutrals as well, see Leeds as a huge fish in the Championship.
Mm.
Do you not still think Leeds would have more of a pull than, say, an Ipswich Town, despite their recent success? No. So if you're a third season parachute team and Ipswich being a first season parachute team, they have much more of a pull, just because of the finance and recent success?
I think that's what it is now. Yeah, I do think that's what it is. I think, you know, the allure of coming and playing here, Leeds, big club, it looks a lot better when you've just been relegated from the Premier League. It looks a hell of a lot better then. And no, I think in Ipswich come down if they offer a better pay packet, better wage structure.
I think you'd be ambitious enough to offer, like, to try and match what Ipswich can offer. But
I just stick around for the beer.
Don't excite me. Don't get me all giddy when it's not even.
Well, I don't know.
No, the thing is that surely they're in for a long haul, aren't they? I know they bought the biggest.
They don't want a Championship club. Careful. They don't want a Championship club though. They don't want a Championship club. They won't want to own that. They won't want to be there or thereabouts. That's why it's just choppy waters. So it's sorry I'm not that old, but I'm sure you're enjoying it. Really investing. But I've got progressively worse. Like I'm hungry. Missus is gonna have to deal with me being upset about Leeds and hungry.
Oh mate, okay, so huge ramifications then. You think for Leeds at being the third season? I think there's maybe.
What about you? What about you? I know you'd have a little bit more of a well-rounded squad, but what about the juggernauts coming down as well?
Yeah, that worries me. I think Leicester's
potential in the playoffs either here. No, so it's 2, isn't it?
It's top 2 for us. And look, I wouldn't. I'm not confident going into the playoffs, particularly because of where we would have fallen from. But I still don't count Chris Wilder out because of the amazing job he's done this season. I think Leeds are the ones that would really struggle in the playoffs, personally.
Yeah.
But the 3 teams coming down worry me. I think Ipswich lose Delap straight away, which weakens them significantly.
Big things losing McKenna as well, don't it?
McKenna could go. Yeah, there could be a Luton in there, couldn't there? Whether it's Ipswich or Leicester due to the points deduction. Then some of their big hitters go. Southampton might be on a losing mindset because of the poor performance in the Premier League. So there's all sorts of intangibles that you can't quite measure. But in terms of on paper, their squads look better than ours. So
yeah, definitely,
it's going to be tough next season. I don't think the relegated teams have been as formidable as those teams that are coming down this time, and I include Sheffield United in that, obviously.
So it's a bit weird when it comes to points tallies because maybe not anymore. I don't really know, but it looks like you're going to eclipse your points tally when you end up with Wilder.
Yeah,
89. I think it was 89, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be a team, I think anyway, who's going to go past that Bielsa side of 93 points. When we went up that second season, we finished 10 points above second in that season as well,
and not go up potentially.
Yeah, and it's just, and then you look at Leicester and Ipswich, and I just remember them last season. I just remember they're so good. I just remember Ipswich just being an absolute nightmare. And then you look at Leicester, and I know they had choppy waters, but the depth they had, like Ndidi, Pereira, Vargas, Ian Archer, you're just littered with quality. Daka. So it's like you have that. But then you do look at the season, you think,
They've been nowhere near us.
Sheffield United have had 2 points docked. So technically you're on 85. You look at Burnley, who've been unbeaten in 26.
Yeah.
And, Leeds obviously have kind of made up for the Luton, haven't they, really? So, the Leeds have been really strong as well. So it's like maybe there hasn't been a drop-off. Maybe it is just, maybe it's a very similar level again. It could even eclipse it. So maybe that's where we're at right now.
In terms of all the rest of the teams have dropped a level.
Yeah.
In terms of the league, which we think is...
Yeah, which I think is more in and around that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then you look at Sunderland.
Yeah. Came from nowhere, really, but recruited really well as well.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, we've not really touched on Burnley. We didn't want to step on Joe's toes. You're more than welcome to get in the comments and let us know what you think from a Burnley perspective as well. But from our two clubs, I don't think it's the end of the world if Sheffield United don't get promoted. But we are in our first season of parachute payments. Conor has a slightly different view compared to Leeds, which I would have expected after this weekend's results. So let us know what you guys think. And for now, come on, you red and white wizards.
Old Napoli!
Jesus.
Ramble on!